The end of a relationship can be devastating. Some of us put so much of ourselves into making something special, and when it doesn't work out, it's an empty feeling afterwards. But for some, it's not really over. Some of us will find ourselves back with the person who left us broken inside. Why is that? That's what we'll address tonight on this episode of the Talk to Q radio show. The title is Why Can't I Leave My Ex Alone? It's about to go down. Buckle up.
P2Q Radio.
Hey, what up, Q? What up, Radio World?
What's going on, people? I want to welcome all of you to the Talk to Q radio show. My name is Quincy, and this is my show. And I'm broadcasting live from the south side of the T2Q Man Cave. Today is Tuesday, February the 15th. Happy Side Piece Day. And this is episode number 982. All right, so we'll go ahead and get ready to kick things off. However, I do want to remind you that coming this Sunday on February the 20th, I will be giving away an exclusive piece of artwork, a courtesy of New Renaissance. And you know what? Matter of fact, let me show you what you can win on Sunday. All right, so you can win that exclusive piece of artwork from the New Renaissance Studio on Sunday, February the 20th, when I celebrate the show's 11th year on the air. All right. Also, tonight, you can win cash simply by participating in the chat room. Once you comment, you'll be entered into a drawing that will take place towards the end of the show. The winner gets a lunch on me, but you must be present to win. On tonight's show, we'll be talking about why some people can't walk away from their ex. Now, I'm not talking about situations that lead to tragedy because someone is unable to cope with a breakup. I mean, we may touch on that, but I'm talking about the less serious situations where we kind of find ourselves in the same spot with someone after thinking that we never pursue, them again. So let me go to the T2Q virtual phone lines and see who will be joining me this evening. The phone lines appear to be popping. And a quick shout out to Amy in Arkansas. Got Carrie from Texas popping in. But let me go to the phone lines and go to the Empire State of New York and welcome on this young lady, Miss Love Tucker. Love, what's going on?
Thank you. I'm glad to say that you see I'm home on side piece day. That means I'm not side piece.
I hear you. I hear you. And that's a dope shirt you're rocking, by the way. And I
Thank
like that
you.
painting in the background too. Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Glad to have you on and glad that you're not out on side piece day. And so next I'll go to the Lone Star State of Texas and welcome back Miss McKinney. Miss McKinney, what's going on? You're muted. I can't hear you.
Slow motion, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And I too am home on side piece day. So kudos to you, sister. We made it. We made it. Glad to be back. Happy anniversary, early anniversary. I can't wait to get in
Thank
on
you.
that because I need some artwork. Like I need to be more cultured on the porch. So yeah, I hope I
All
win.
right. All right. There you go. You can win that. You can win that. All right. To the Magnolia State of Mississippi. Welcome back, the homie Bailey. Bailey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening, everybody?
All right. Glad to have you on, man. And
Appreciate
I
it.
got a couple of show legends to get into, and we'll kick they introduce, and then we'll kick things off. From the 732 area code, the Garden State of New Jersey, please welcome on the show enforcer, the show legend, Ray. Ray, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Q? What's up, everybody?
Not too much. You see Miss McKinney up there celebrating. She loves some Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, how you doing?
We
All
are
right.
good.
And one more, we're going to kick this thing off. From the 850 area code, the Emerald Coastline of Pensacola, Florida, making his way to the ring, the man in black, the Buckster. What's going on, Buck?
How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing well, man.
Bless.
Right. Glad to have everybody on.
All right, glad to have you all in the mix. What's going on, Lana, in Florida? All right, so we'll go ahead and kick things off. Again, thanks for joining the show. And let's just start here. And this is I'll start with the ladies first. So, Miss McKinney, let me start with you. Real basic question, I guess. Should you be friends with your ex after a breakup? Is it okay to be friends?
Let's come off mute. I absolutely think that it's a good idea to be friends with your ex, but then we have to understand what friend really means, right? Friend is not one who's going to misuse you or do anything to abuse the relationship that you guys have. So, real friends, yes, I don't see anything wrong with that.
All right. Love, what do you think?
I think it's possible if you broke up and it was amicable, but I think there needs to be space and time so that the two of you don't have any moments of memory, let's just say, where it's like, oh, I remember when we used to. No. Some
No
time apart.
flashbacks.
No. Have some time apart, and then perhaps you can revisit whether or not a friendship is a good idea.
Okay. All right. Amy says, yes, absolutely, you can. And fellas, what do you think? Bailey, can you be friends with an ex?
Oh yeah, for sure. As long as you are strong enough emotionally, like on both parts, for women and men. What I'm saying? If you in your feelings still, then no, that ain't the move. But if you are, saying strong enough emotionally to handle those interactions without being in your feelings, what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't want, I'm not saying you can't lust, but just don't be sad about it or don't be down or what I'm saying, just reacting, what I'm saying, foolishly. Yeah, but I think it's possible. It just depends on, if you're strong enough emotionally and you're not too just stuck on memory lane.
Okay. All right. So, Buck, let me go to you and ask you this. What about if you're following them on social media? Is it best to unfollow them, or can you still follow your ex on social media after a breakup? You're on mute, Buck.
Pretty much like everybody else said. I mean, even if it's a social media type deal, as long as you're not in your feelings or anything, I don't see a problem with, saying something about, something that they've done or some achievement they've made. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay. And that's something I got an upcoming show about relationships and social media that I'll definitely get into probably next month. That should be interesting. But so, Ray, if a person is in a relationship that's really good, okay, you love the relationship, but for whatever reason it doesn't work out, it may cause you to think that you may never find something good again. So can that feeling make someone go back to their ex, the fear that they won't be able to match the high that they once had with that person? So can that make you go back?
Well, yeah, I think so. That's what drives some people to go back. But I always say, remember what caused the situation in the first place. Now, just like being friends with an ex, it's kind of like it depends on who it is and it depends on what they did. Now, if you split, then it was something minor or something that we both could have matured from or something like that. That's not bad. But a lot of snake shit went on and a lot of bullshit went on. You know, how you gonna be friends with somebody like that? So, I mean, I would say that, oh, I got to get back to the original point because I was on the first question. What did you say was the second question again?
I mean, some people feel like they can't do any better, essentially, or they won't be able to find someone who made them feel that
Yeah,
good, so that makes them want to
I
go
mean,
back.
yeah, that's true. I mean, but I think you have to expand your horizons. Now is a better time than ever because it's so much social media, and you don't even have to leave your house just about now. So, I mean, I think you would feel that at first. I think anybody that breaks up, you have to take time to get over the situation. You don't want to meet somebody else and then well, I don't know, I can't trust you because of this and because of that. Get all that out your system first and then find somebody else. But some people don't have confidence to do that. That's why they always stuck, and most people go to what they know. That's why a lot of people who work and they don't invest. They say, well, I know what I'm gonna get if I punch that clock, but you
Hmm.
tell me put some money on this or that. I don't know. So, that's kind of the way dating is or love is or whatever.
Okay, okay, and you make a good point there. And real quick in the chat room, Amy says one thing I've learned is that you can't recreate what you once had with an ex or anyone else, and that's very true. But Miss McKinney, what do you think about what Ray said? As far as like he made a good point at the end. As far as some people are kind of like, what's the old saying? I'd rather be with the devil I do know than the devil I don't, or something along those lines. Do you believe that to be true? I mean, give it from a woman's perspective.
I absolutely believe it to be true, especially around that holiday trifecta. What is it? And maybe even four if you like Halloween like that. What are they? Thanksgiving,
Thanksgiving,
Christmas,
Christmas,
and
Valentine.
then Valentine's. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! So I had a friend tell me once, that was the time of year for her that she was just like whatever, and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with you. That sounds fine to me, but once other things started happening, the kid went off to school and moved out. That family dynamics changed. I understood what that was like to be not, I guess, lonely and alone during that trifecta. So that's a tricky time. And so I'm glad Bray brought that up because I was thinking about that earlier today. And I just want to encourage others, as I encourage myself, to find other traditions that kind of help you along the way. If it's something that you enjoy doing by yourself, or maybe with just your immediate family or something like that, try to have some different traditions, not to always lean on the fact that you needed that man there to smell his feet and serve him his dinner and do all those kinds of things. Try to find something else because I agree that's a really rough time. And I also wanted to touch on social media. Like, you don't really have to be my social media friend for me to stalk you. Um, but I kind of feel that being friends on social media with the ex is very touchy. I wouldn't suggest it. Mm-mm.
All right. And love, so let me go to you on this because love, you and I have had some conversations off air, and you said walking away from an ex has not necessarily been a problem for you in your past. So, can you share some of the things that maybe you do that can help some of the women out there who can't seem to let go and they feel the need to chew their gum twice?
Ew. Not chew the gum twice. The flavor's gone.
I actually
Um,
stole that from Ray.
but in that way, I think of it like, kind of like that, like the flavor's gone. So why repeat something that you've already done? A new adventure. Walking away, I guess, when I'm done, I'm done. I give a number of chances. I'll wait and see how someone behaves while I'm with them. And then I'll retreat further and further emotionally. And then once I'm done, it's just like, no, block, delete. Like
Cutting all ties.
oh yeah, I'm likely not going to see you again. Because I don't really date people or was with someone who lived in such close proximity to me. Um, so it's kind of like, no, once I'm done, I'm done. And I used to think I was really harsh. I would go, man, you cutthroat. Why are you so mean to people? And then I acquiesced one time. Like he did this great romantic gesture, like after I broke up with him. And I was like, oh, I mean, it didn't go, his gesture didn't exactly land the way he wanted to, but
Mm-hmm.
I saw the thought in it. And then I gave him a second chance and then I regretted it. So it was kind of like a confirmation of don't do that anymore.
Right. Right.
Once you're done, you're done. You need to spend time going, what was it that they did that I would allow? And use them as contrast. Like, I no longer want this. What did they do that got on my nerves? Look, but not that. Next time.
Okay. All right. So,
Like,
ladies, pay attention. And so, this is for whoever would like to respond. Let's say you're in a position like love to where you don't really have issues with exes or something like that, but you have a friend who is stuck on an ex or a friend who constantly likes to run back to exes. How do you try to motivate them to move forward without coming off as a hater? Because people are quick to call you haters these days.
may I cue?
Go ahead.
Man, you don't. It's not your business. Whatever toxic she getting over there with that man, she like it. But just to speak to the earlier point, I think men leave that door open because they still want to have access to hit. You know what I'm saying? They still want to, maybe be in and out sexually without having that commitment. And I think women leave that door open because a lot of times after a breakup, she'll start dating somebody new and she'll get back on the scene. But sexually, a lot of women would rather give sex to somebody that they already been with, when they're still kind of working out the kinks and trying to figure out what they're gonna do, rather than somebody new, you know. So I think, yeah.
Anybody else want to chime in? Do you agree with Bailey? Do you just mind your business, or if it's your friend, you try to help them? I guess focus on moving forward instead of going backwards.
I absolutely agree with him. It's not any of my business. She's grown just like I'm grown. She knows what's going on, but it is my responsibility to be there for her and to listen. And I'm not going to say that if it should resurface, that I can't throw in one of those, well, girl, back in the day, this is exactly what he did before to kind of help further it along. But no, I wouldn't try to talk her out of talking to anyone. We can't tell anyone what their feelings are, right?
Yeah. But I do think that it is more difficult when the person's always complaining, but they're not doing anything about it. Ray Buck, what do you all think about that? When you got a partner that's always complaining about his ex, but he won't leave her alone.
Yeah, I mean, if they have to, they have to be able to be ready to make that change. And sometimes, it's a little bit easier said than done. And you just kind of have to, you can try to aid them along, but at the same time, you just have to kind of watch them and see which way they want to go, because they're not ready and there's nothing you can say or do to make them move forward. So they have to be ready to move forward, if that makes sense.
Okay. And Lana in Florida says, I agree with Bailey. We support as a friend. I try to get them out and about. So in other words, she tried to take their mind off of it. And that may be the best route to go. So I'm not disagreeing with you all at all. But all right. So there's a lot of people who think that when people are discussing getting back with their ex, that it's the woman going back to the man. But that's not always the case. There are some things that will drive a man back to double back to one of his exes. And Bailey, I'm going to start with you on this first, man. What will drive a dude back to that woman that did him dirty?
What'll drive him back to someone that did him dirty?
Yeah.
Yeah, low IQ. I personally don't get it, but it was something he liked about her toxic self, man. She might be a horrible person, but the sex was amazing, and he just, man, I just, that, people are attracted to what they're attracted to, man. So it's something about, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just something that they liked about her. You know what I'm saying? Like some
Okay.
people function in dysfunction. You know what I'm saying? Like you can give them some peace and everything cool, and they just be like, bro, this ain't it. This ain't exciting. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I need some drama. You know what I'm saying? Because and so some people like I said, man, function and dysfunction, and she might have been horrible, but the sex might have been amazing, or she might could cook, or I don't know what insert whatever toxic reason you want to insert, but so it was something that he liked about her, man. It don't make sense to everybody else, but that's what that man liked. You know.
Okay. And Ray, what he said about operating in dysfunction, are there some people who just think that a relationship is supposed to have like some type of drama, some type of back and forth? Like you have to fight for that person, so to speak, in order for it to be any good?
Well, I mean, you have a lot of people that feel like, like you always had a thing with the makeup sex and stuff like that. And, I think in the hood and stuff, they take that a little too far. I mean, we supposed to all get along. We supposed to have some cooperation, and we supposed to have some, as you get older, you want to have some reasonable conversation, not yelling and you throwing things and I gotta grab you in your collar, you gotta slap me across the face and all that. It shouldn't be all that. So if somebody gonna make you do all that, then the best thing to do is not to be with them. But some people like that because they don't know nothing else. If you don't know nothing else, then you know that's why a lot of times when people experience something else, people think, well, you doing this because you want to change and you want to be this, you want to be that. No, sometimes other people don't carry that drama. Sometimes, everybody reacts different to an argument. You know, back in the day, I used to have exes, man, things blow up. It can really blow up. You know what I'm saying? And, arguing the police got to come and this, that, and the other. It don't have to be all that. But see, if you don't understand that, you think that's the way it's supposed to be. But if
Mhm.
you one of them guys, you say, okay, time it go to that level, or you raise your voice and you say something I don't like, let me get up and leave. If I'm at your house or if you're at my house, I'm gonna put you out. And then everything will be better. That's why I tell young guys, don't engage with no woman and go back and forth and y'all arguing and putting your hands on each other and stuff like that. Because nowadays you the only one going to jail. So remember that.
All right. And so let's look at us famous celebrity couple going through it right now with Kanye and Kim Kardashian. Uh, they're in the headlines every day. Kanye looks like he wants his family back, whereas Kim looks like she's moved on. Uh, is it a fact? Is it a situation where maybe Kanye doesn't, like Ray says, know what a real relationship looks like, or is it a control thing? Maybe he wants what he wants. I mean, for whoever wants to speak on this, what's your interpretation of what's going on? I mean, we're all speculating, but what do you think?
Well, I mean, you
I
got to look
think
at it. You got to look. Go ahead, Ray.
I was saying, man, I think that him not taking that medication, man, it kind of takes him over. I mean, not saying that the Kardashians are all the way right either, but I think that they more family oriented than he is. If you pick up and move away from your family and go all the way out to Wyoming and stuff like that, what you trying to do? We understand you got enough money to go anywhere you want to go, but you moving away from the house, you did certain things. So it's kind of like, you know, now that she didn't got somebody else and everything else, you dating another girl, and now you looking at, oh, she with this dude, because I don't know what she looking at, because I don't know how Pete Davidson keep getting all these women. If somebody know, can they please tell me? I don't understand how he's getting these women. If you know, please tell me. But I mean, from uh Adriana Grande or whatever it is, and Kim Kardashian, and there's another woman, and I mean, it's different. These women was on the street, but these women famous, got plenty of money and all that. I just don't understand it. You feel me? That's why you laughing.
Oh, I
Because
know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, But the thing is I hope that whatever it is, they can try to resolve whatever they need to do because it's looking bad, and they got I don't know how many kids, 3 kids or four or something like that, and you know I think he should just move on because I think she moved on.
All
But
right.
Kanye know like I know the relationship ain't gonna last long. Just look at the history.
Yeah. Amy says Kanye is just controlling. Kim is no saint, but she's had enough. But anybody else want to comment on the Yay Kim thing?
Uh, I guess my take is I don't know. I guess like what is when it's kids involved, man. Hey, if you want to get your family back, man, and try to work things out for the better of your kids, I'll tip my hat to you. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of public disputes, but I guess when you that famous, everything really kind of becomes public, so you kind of lose privacy. But I would like for things to play out, like of a personal matter, kind of behind the scenes. But if you really move into work things out for the betterment of your family for real, and just have your kids, and I respect that.
Okay. Well, ladies, I love Miss McKinney. Doesn't it get to a point though where it gets kind of dangerous when someone is kind of just always just seem like they're trying to force their way back in your life after you said you've moved on?
It absolutely does. But I want to skip back and touch a little bit about some of us are raised in survival, right? And some of us are raised in love. And from a small child or on TV, most certainly, we're always taught that the man comes back with a wonderful grand gesture, no matter what he's done in the past, and everything works out. So I think that TV has a lot of grooming as to why we feel like we can move, back and forth. Even the TV shows now take pride in showing the dysfunction of a family. This one is like this and like that, and making it okay. So I think there's a lot of confusion out there as far as what we see and what we hear. And then we have Kanye and Kim. I don't follow them. I live under a rock, so I don't know the whole story. But then we have things like that are in the social media that make us feel like the back and forth is what we should be doing, or else it's not really love. And what was your question? I'm so sorry. I was stuttering to get that out.
I was just asking, is does it get dangerous at a certain point where someone's keeps trying to put themselves back in your life?
It does. I knew of a story probably about a year or so ago where there was a back and forth between a couple and they were trying to give it a go, and a minor argument just escalated. And I think that's because they knew each other's buttons already. They knew exactly what to do. And I say this, but she accidentally stabbed him and he ended up passing away. So it's very dangerous to assume that when
Mm.
you go back that things have changed, that things are going to be different. I think they can escalate even faster in that situation, honestly.
Is she in jail now?
She is not.
I
Goodness gracious.
accidentally
That's
stabbed
a whole
somebody.
nother
Yeah,
episode. It's
that's my
another
How
question.
did
episode.
I know that?
It's a whole
How did
nother
I know that?
episode. It's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
It must be. And all right, in the chat room, the wifey lounge chimed in, said that an ex will only do what you allow them to. If they keep knocking and you keep opening the door, then that's the individual fault. Know your value as a woman and a man. An ex is an ex for a reason. Miss T in Texas says everyone's ex is not a bad person. And very true. That's true as well. And so what about when the person's family loves you? The mom adores you, or their dad looks at you like a daughter or a son. Their kids worship you. Can you get attached? And let me start with you on this, Bailey. Can you get attached to someone's family to the point it makes it hard to leave that person?
Mm. Yeah, sometimes you can be more vested in the people or in the person's circle than the actual person, you know. So yeah, I think that is possible. Um, if we okay and we cool after a breakup, then it's possible for me to still, kind of rock with your folks. But if it's bad, then I gotta, what I'm saying, I gotta cut everybody off. If it's one of them like them bad situations, like really toxic, really volatile, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I gotta cut everybody off. But it is possible to be more vested in the people around you. Like, and I'ma hate not being able to be cool with your cousins or your, just whatever. So yeah, sometimes you can't be more vested in the people around a person than the actual person.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. But you
And
can't. I can't live my life for them, so I'm gonna have to get on down. As much as I love y'all,
right.
the next
And
dude, he might be cool. I wish y'all the best.
love, what do you think? Can you get attached to someone's family to the point that it makes it hard to leave that person?
I I find it funny because my history, basically all my ex's moms, none of their moms like me. Like I was always able to get the guy to do something the mom wasn't able to get them to do, and it would be like, I hate that bitch. But the dads all love me. But and it's funny because I had the experience growing up, especially on my father's side of the family. They're on, so there are like seven aunts and uncles basically on both sides, seven aunts and uncles. But those aunts and uncles all remarried and they all have kids
Ooh.
with both sets, right? And my family treats everybody like they're still family. So my half brother, like his mom could come through to whatever family event was going on. And I would be running up to her like she was an aunt, like, hey, you know, and so it's kind of funny to me because my family is almost like, oh, like you in, like we met you, y'all gonna stay. Like I don't care if y'all broke up, like we still like you. And it's crazy situations. There's been like domestic violence, like crazy drug use that happens. These things are horribly toxic. Meanwhile, it's like they're fine. Let that person still come around, even if it would bother the new person that they're with or the ex. Because my mother couldn't stand the fact that my brother's mom would still come through and come to all these events and everything, and everybody would talk to her as if she was still the wife.
Hmm.
So I've seen it growing up, but I haven't had the experience where somebody was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, we love love. Let's keep her in the family." They were like, "Good, she out of here. Good, bring it like her no way."
All right. Carrie in Texas says there's a level of respect. I won't ignore your family if I see them out, but I won't show up at family functions either. And Miss McKinney, what about mutual friends? Do you have to distance yourself when you have mutual friends? Maybe people y'all used to all hang out together, and now because that person hangs out with your ex still, what do you do?
Yes, I think you should distance yourself. And then going back to the family, I'm not going to leave you out there by yourself, Miss Love. That's a difficult situation. So you're talking about a toxic relationship that you left, and now maybe there's kids involved that still maybe want to call you daddy, or a mother-in-law that still wants to call you her son and things like that. But you're probably still suffering from some of the toxicness that happened when you were in the relationship, and I don't think that it's a good idea. No, I think if you're not in a good place and you're not friends, and you definitely need to give yourself some time there. But I don't think that hanging out with mutual friends and still going to family functions, still calling his mama or his daddy and things like that, it's not acceptable to me. I wouldn't appreciate it, and I don't think it's necessary.
Buck, what do you think, man? If you're dating someone and you become real cool with her brother or a friend or something like that, and then y'all break up, I mean, you get to break up the friendship too.
Not necessarily. I mean, in a lot of cases, you still friends with them, because they become part of your family. And just because you break up with somebody, that does not mean that you cut ties with the friendships that you've made with within the family. So I hadn't had to experience any of that in any breakups I've had. Still friends with my ex-wife's brothers and things of that nature. So I don't see us where that's a problem.
Okay. All right. So we someone touched on triggers earlier as far as um like for example around the holidays. Around the holidays, people seem to want to fall back into old habits, so to speak. So outside of holidays, can anyone think of any other triggers that might send someone running back to their ex?
Uh, a bad breakup with a new person.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. So you get into a new situation and it's worse than the last one, huh?
Maybe not worse. It just ended. Like I don't know. Y'all can get on me for this, but like women have a thing, bro, with what I'm saying, like they body count or keeping it down. And man, I'm telling you, they'll go get it old one of them old dudes, son, man, just to to hold them over. You know what I'm saying? Until they meet somebody, they gonna what I'm saying, just be with. So being
Mm.
single a little too long, what I'm saying, just getting that itch, what I'm saying? Ain't too many people gonna be that strong. Or a breakup with whoever the new person is, man. That'll send them running back. Or uh, on social media, like you see them post something and they, what I'm saying, this is not me, but what I'm saying, you see them post something, okay, right, 300, 400 likes, okay, I see you. And next thing you know, you want,
You
so
want back in, huh?
yeah. That's not me though, but I'm just saying.
And love, you were gonna say something?
I mean, I I think, Bailey's assessment that, the person's stock rose, that probably could be a reason why people might want to go back. The body count thing, I'm like, that's crazy.
Mhm.
We have choice. But what I think is funny, which I think, we hadn't really touched on, was sometimes you have a breakup with someone and you have an idea of what you want the relationship to be, right? And say you broke up and maybe it wasn't so great or maybe it was fine and some time has passed and something happens or you see something, you smell that person's cologne, you walk down the street or something and you start to wonder. And the part that gets me is that sometimes you want to reconnect to see if that person's matured out of bad behavior. Like, okay, 5 years has passed by. Let me see if they're single. Let me see if she's still keying cars. Let me see if he still has that anger problem. And the only way you can know, the person who maybe got broken up with, the only way you can know if it's possible to have, a good relationship is giving time because you have to see what the person behaves like. Like they could say anything to kind of get you back. They're like, "Oh, I remember it was good. Let me get that walk," right? But you don't know if perhaps you can get together and be a couple again unless you spend time with each other. So I think that kind of gets people back also.
Hmm. Okay. Anybody else have an option, Miss McKinney?
Death or any type of life tragedy, losing a job, anything like that. Something that makes you want to lean on a familiar shoulder.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I just remember what. And women, we hear about this all the time. Miss McKinney, you can say whether or not this is true or not. Like somebody lose their apartment, they lose their home, they start calling back that ex because they trying to move in with them real quick. Like, oh, I remember they were so nice and good. That's one that I've heard a lot about, especially in these pandemic times, where somebody tries to get the move in.
I think they're
Okay.
called homosexuals. Is that what
Ho-
that
yeah,
is?
ho-
Mm,
ho-
Sapiens?
hobosexual.
Hobosexuals, yeah. Where
Yeah,
they move
hobo.
around for the love.
no.
Not in
So
that way, right?
yeah, I guess being without shelter will make you want to get back for X or anybody for that matter. Um, so it's cold out here in these streets.
Hey man, listen, the winter is coming, and you know when it gets cold out there, you want to come in where it's warm, man? Oh no, absolutely not. I don't care. I got a house big as Rick Ross. You ain't coming in there.
I heard that. All right, so the next T2Q live show will be a special Sunday edition. And the Talk to Q radio show celebrated its 11th birthday. And although it's a celebration, I will have a topic to discuss. It's about what we can do to help older people and younger people communicate better. Uh, I'm bringing on a panel of guests who were born after 1990 and ask, what would they like to see changed in order to bridge the gap between the generations as far as communication goes. So that's going to be Sunday, February the 20th at 2 p.m. on the Talk to Q radio show. Also, I'll be giving away the exclusive piece of artwork courtesy of New Renaissance. And all you have to do is participate in the chat room. So just make a comment in the chat room and you're automatically entered. I'll pick a name at the end of the show, and the winner will need to be present and have to announce themselves in the chat room. And, just like that, you can be the winner of this one of a kind piece of art for free just by watching the Talk to Q radio show on YouTube. All right, so we'll go ahead and get to our final thoughts and get ready to shut this thing down. I appreciate your participation this evening. And thank you very much, Miss T. And so, final thoughts. And Buck, I'll start with you first, man.
Great show. This good to have everybody on tonight and seeing the participation, in the chat room as well is really good to see. A lot of times, when you're dealing with exes, you have to, be mindful of what you're doing. You don't want to, go down memory lane, so to speak, as the song says, or, get yourself trapped back in the situation that you just got out of. So you just got to be mindful of what you're doing, keep your faculties about you, and just don't want to make the same mistake twice. Be smart about what you're doing. Some people can end relationships admirably or what have you, and everything's fine and they can still be friends. But some people can't do that. And they're constantly, trying to reel you back in. So just be smart about what you're doing. I think there was a lot of key points made tonight. So great show, and everybody enjoy the rest of your week.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you. And Ray, what you got, man?
Yeah, great show, man. Wonderful topic. I mean, I think that when you're talking about exes, you always gonna get a lot of different opinions. But I think that a lot of times exes for a reason, and I think you should put time into thinking about, do you want to make them an ex or do you want to work things out? If they are an ex, I think they made a decision and you made a decision, and I think sometimes you just have to live with that decision. A lot of times, like we was talking about with these homosexual or whatever y'all term y'all was using,
Hobosexual.
homosexual, yeah, the term you was using. But okay, when a person get down, then they want to come back and remember when a person treated them good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, oh no, you got to feel that. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if you need a quarter. You got to feel that. But the thing is some people will get sucked in and oh well, she need my help and I'm gonna help her. Okay, let me help some other person I don't know if I want to do a good deed. But at the same time, if it's a person that because see, it's different when you an ex. You say, okay, well, you split, and that's one thing. But what you said on the way out the door, that's the part you don't forget. Cause boy,
Mm-hmm.
everybody's big and bold in. Oh, you ain't this, you ain't do this, you ain't done that. Okay, I hear all that. And you listen to it and you take it all in. And when you take it in, you always gotta store it in your memory and say, okay, this is what it was. So when they come back, well, after they've been bitten the ass a couple times out there in the street, and they realize that it ain't as sweet as they think it is, and you say, well, okay. Now they want to come back with a shoulder to lean on. No, my shit disconnected or dislocated. You can't lean on this shoulder. You got to hit that ground all cement, no grass.
Mm.
So, but it's a good show. Great topic. Can't argue with it.
All right.
Everybody have a good night.
Appreciate you, man. And Amy in Arkansas said, Ray, so good to hear your voice, brother. Hope all is well. Stay away from exes, in my opinion, because you just can't go back to what once
Good to
was.
hear you too, Amy.
And Amy, I got a show coming up in a few weeks involving crime, and it has your name written all over. I'm gonna reach out to you. And all right, Ray, I appreciate you, man. And let's see, Bailey, I got to get to you.
Final thoughts.
Hmm.
Uh, man, final thoughts on that. Um, kind of just is what it is, man. Like all X is not bad. You know what I'm saying? You could have been the reason that the situation didn't work. So I think time heals everything, man. If y'all, if you've been broke up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, you ain't got no business still being mad at these folks, man. That might be who for you. That might be your soulmate. It just didn't work during that time. You may have matured. Your situation may have changed. Your finances may have changed. Your thought process may have changed, and it's cool. So if y'all both single, and I don't see nothing wrong with doubling back with an ex, man. As long as y'all cool, but I don't see a problem with it at all.
Okay. All right, man. Dope painting you got up there.
I
And
appreciate it, bro.
all right, thanks for coming through. And love, what you got?
First, let me say happy birthday, happy anniversary. Congratulations on
Gracias.
being a tween now. Um, the thing about that I think about when it comes to exes is I think of an ex as an experience that you can, look back on and grow from. So you look at whatever your part was in the demise of the relationship because they're an ex, because there was something that, broke apart, and work on yourself so that you're better for the next, not necessarily for your ex if they try to come back. But I do agree that if, some time has passed, you can, possibly poke your head in and see what's going on, but, have some discernment. So those are my thoughts there.
Okay. Discernment is the key word there. And let everybody know where they can find you real quick in your book.
Oh, right. I always forget about that stuff. So, so I am love.the look and 2024.the novel on IG, Love Tucker on Facebook. And my current book, 2024, is available at Amazon. Hmm? Oh, at Amazon.com. And you can also DM me for an autographed copy.
Okay. All right. I got my copy. Y'all need to get yours. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming on. Good to see you. And Miss McKinney, can you shut it down for your boy?
Of course I can. First of all, let me say again, happy anniversary. Can't wait for that episode.
Thank you.
It was a fantastic show tonight. Glad to have met Bailey and Miss Love and been on the stage with you guys. Always a pleasure to be on the show. So thanks so much. My final words is I want everybody to know that you're not alone, right? So this is something that we talked about. We tried to give you guys some good insight on what we think you should do, but ultimately you're the one that knows what your feelings are, right? So I think Miss Love said it best: discernment, making sure that you're being true to yourself as well as the other individual, making sure that you guys should be moving forward or even should be being friends, and if not, then learn to walk away peacefully. That would be my advice. And then again, I want to remind you that the holiday trifecta, find something else to do, because that's not a reason to lean back on another shoulder, especially a shoulder that's hurt you before. So keep that in mind.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Let the people know where they can find you and your podcast.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm Miss McKinney of Porch Time with Miss McKinney. We are on all major platforms, including Apple. We talk about everything under the sun, all things porch. You guys want to tune in and listen. Of course, we are not up there. We're not 11 years strong like Talk to Q or like Q, but we're going to get there, right? We're going to get there. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me.
Show everybody your T-shirt. Look at it.
Here we
Porch
go.
Time with Miss McKinney.
Here we
Represent.
go. We'll be doing no rocking right now. There we go.
All right. So let me go ahead and do this giveaway. I appreciate you all coming on this evening. And Wifey Lounge had one more comment, said that X is not an accident. And X is a sign you're preparing for someone great. All right. Shout out to the Wifey Lounge. And so we'll go ahead and give away this Cash App. And so let me make sure I got the share my screen here. And I'll go ahead and pull a name. You must be present to win. So if your name comes up, then say something in the chat room. This is everyone who commented this evening. Carrie. Okay, Carrie in Texas. Are you still in the chat room? I will give you a few seconds to chime in, Carrie. You know, Carrie actually won 2 weeks ago, but she wasn't in the chat room and we had to give it to someone else. So, Carrie going once, going twice. All right. I'm going to have to pull another name. So, let me go again. Amy. Amy, you were just there. I know you're still there, right? Say something in the chat room. No, you are not Amy, Miss T. Amy, going once, going twice. There she is. All right. Congratulations, Amy. I will reach out to you after the show. You are the winner of this week's Cash App. And so that's going to do it, people. I appreciate you all taking the time to join me this evening. All my guests, please stay on the line while I close the show. But that's going to do it for this YouTube live edition of the Talk to Q radio show. Go to talktoq.com to get more information on the show, to learn more about me, check out the archives, find my social media information, all that stuff. Everyone enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you on Sunday, okay, for that special 11th birthday show Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Time. So peace out.